All right, you're on the import contacts page. I'm going to show you how to import contacts. Now, before I get started, there are two main reasons why people import. Number one is to get a list of new contacts into the system, and the other one is to update contacts in the system. So both of those work. I'm going to walk through both of those briefly, but before we do get started, what you do need to know is that you must have your data clean. So you have to, first of all, have a header row, and all of these rows will become fields in your account. Next, you want to have your first name and your last name separated. Be sure that that's the case. And then we only can text mobile numbers, obviously. So it's probably important for you to label your phone field mobile just so that it reminds you that you need a mobile number. We cannot send messages, obviously, to landlines. So be sure that you make a distinction on any fields that you have. Then you want to have an email address as well, and the mobile number and the email address are how we find unique contacts, how we match them, and it's really important that you definitely have to have one of these two. If you don't have one of these two, anytime you try to update a contact, we're not going to match them later on because we have to have a field to match them off of. We will not use first and last name because it's very common to have the same first and last name these days. So you need to have a mobile and or an email address. So let's go ahead and import this right here. And what you need to do with your data is you need to export it as a CSV. So we're going to take this document, we're going to export it, and we're going to call this document, just simply put, candidates 2, and we'll save that on the desktop. So let's go ahead and import candidates 2. We're going to upload the CSV. We're going to select that file, which is candidates 2, and then we're going to upload it. Now here's what's going to happen. We're going to attempt to match automatically your first name, last name, email, and mobile fields. Then click next in the top right corner, and from this page you can add or change your fields. So notice right here I have a field called state. I want that field to come in, but notice this one says new. I don't actually want to create a new field. In fact, I want to match this to a field that I already have called zip. So this is how I would match it. So zip, just like that. So now that's going to align. And then we have my source, my attended, and my onboarding status. So I want all of these in just like that. And now I'm going to select next in the top right corner. You can now name your import because you can find it on your reports page. This is such a big deal. So let's just call this candidates February. Today is the 27th. Okay, we're going to name it that. Now, only update existing contacts. This is for importing when you're updating people. I'll show you that after this, so we're not going to toggle that one for now. And then you can add an additional tag if you want an additional tag. I'm not going to do that. Now watch the magic. I'm going to select finish import, and the system is going to sit here and it's going to be pending until there is success. You want to wait for that success message. So now I can view a full report of everybody who was imported. And so let's go ahead and select this button to view my report. And it shows me these people were created. And I have a report over here. If I want to, I can open this up into a new tab and I can view this later on. And this is found on the reports page. So if you go to reports and then you look for import results, you'll find the import results, you'll select it, and there is our selected report that we just created. That's great, isn't it? Now, let's go back and import other contacts, but we want to actually update some contacts. So let's go import contacts. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to use this document here. Candidates with manager. So I need to update the manager for people. But you know what? I don't need Sally here. Sally is actually probably not in my system. But you know what? I don't want to import her. I don't want to update her. So I actually want to skip creating any new contacts. I actually only want to match people who are already in the system so that I can update the manager because maybe their manager has changed. So let's go ahead and do the exact same thing with this document. Let's go ahead and export it to a CSV. And we'll call this Candidates with Manager 2. And we'll export that also to our desktop. And then now we're going to upload our CSV. We'll pick our document and then we will upload. All right, now this one also matched. I did not have a mobile number on that document. Notice right here. So the system's going to try to match to the email address. So I need to select this and say do not map mobile field. Otherwise, I won't be able to progress. Now let's click next. And it found a field already. I don't have to import this field if I don't want to. I can skip it, or I can match it to another field if I want to. But I actually need this because this is an import. I just didn't show you that earlier. But you can skip fields, you can match them, and do that all right from this button right here. But I do want to update these candidates. So let's click next. And then this time, remember, I need to update my existing contacts. I do not want any new contacts. So if there's anybody on that field, Sally, for example, I don't want to create a new contact. I just want to update contacts that I already have. So let's just call this candidate update February 27th, 2026. And this time I'll add a new tag. We'll call this update underscore 02 underscore 27 underscore 2006. Now we're going to automatically tag people with import, but I just want to show you that you can create a tag. So let's go ahead and finish our import. Wait for the success message over here. There you go, success. Notice it says merged 4 and we skipped 1. Why did we skip 1? I'll come back to that when we review the full report, but notice right here, I now have tags on my import. I had this before the import tag earlier, but this is a special one that I just added. If I click into these, it'll actually open up this in a group, view full report, and now it's going to show me that I merged these 4 contacts, which means I updated their values, and then I skipped Sally at example. Now we don't have the name on this. Maybe it'll come later. We'll add that, but you do have the key that was going to try to be matched. And because this was a brand new contact, it does not exist. And I was forcing a merge. It skipped over that contact. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's look at our update contacts. Here are those updated contacts, and their manager is all Michael Scott. So the update worked, and that is how you can import.